Award show after award show.
7:30 right now as you welcome our good friend Dwayne Flegel here as we're talking about something that's really important. Let's start off with the fact that this is National
Better Hearing Month.
Better Hearing Month.
That's right. It's a good month to take care of your hearing and check things out.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Right. You know, one of the things we do is we do a lot of senior health fairs and various other things, and I'm kind of it's kind of fun to watch people and how they react to different things. And I've asked people when we're in a booth and stuff like that, I said, when was your last hearing test? And you know, I'm talking to people 60, 70, 80 years old. Oh, I never had one. Oh, well, don't you think it's about time? Well, no, I don't think I need one. Well, when was your last physical? Well, I had that about a year ago. Well, why'd you have one? Well, I thought I should things checked out. Well, they didn't give you a hearing test? Well, no, that's not included. Well, first place, I don't know why it's not. Secondly, if you go to have a physical every year, why would you not have a hearing test? Why would you wait 80 years to have a hearing test or 70 years to have a hearing test?
Especially regarding what you've taught us about the connection between hearing loss and dementia.
That's right. And you point that out to people, say, did you know this? Well, most of them don't know it, but even some of those that do, those people I get real upset with, because they say, okay, if you know this, why haven't you done anything about it? Well, I don't want to buy a hearing aid. Well, who said you had to buy a hearing aid? We're trying to get you to get a hearing test to find out whether or not you have a problem. Probably about half of the people that we give a hearing screening to do not need a hearing aid. And we'll give them a copy of the results and keep it. Come back, see us in 4 or 5 years. We'll see if it's changed. Because a lot of things can happen in there that have nothing to do with needing a pair of hearing aids. You may have a serious medical problem, and your ears will show it, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
So, oh, yeah.
It seems like it's one of those tests that as we get older, we don't want to go because we're afraid of what we might.
And, and because of what you said, I don't want to buy a hearing aid.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. People don't want to know the bad news. But so is that why you never get a physical? Because you don't, you know, if you never get a physical, you would never get the bad news. You just end up dead, but, you know, but a little sooner than, you know, probably a lot sooner. But why people don't consider hearing part of their health?
I know the answer to that, and you taught me that answer. Because they don't know what they're not hearing.
I think that's a lot of it. There definitely is. And one of the other reasons people say, well, they're too expensive. That isn't the number one reason people don't buy hearing aids. The number one reason people don't buy hearing aids is because they don't think they work. And 10 years ago, they were right. But they're not right today.
We probably watched our grandparents and the struggles they've had, and it's like,
yeah, that's it. And you would not believe the number of people that come in and still say, I don't want one of those things with a wire to my ear. That's been, what, 30 years?
Yeah, or they don't want the whistling hearing.
Yeah, they want the whistling hearing. So it's really ridiculous, but the bottom line is, like you say, if you have an untreated hearing loss, you're 30%, you're going to lose your memory 30% faster, and you're up to 5 times more likely to develop dementia. So find out whether or not you have a problem.
Is there a certain age or occupation that you might have that you'd want to go in at a certain time or think about it?
I hate to mention this, but you tend to lose your hearing starting at about age 35.
Oh,
35.
Right.
What?
Yeah, what?
Check that off the list of things to get done.
Well, but occupations obviously come into play too if you're in a loud situation.
Again, it's a real simple thing. I always tell people, if you are normally having a problem in conversations, if you have to have the TV louder than everybody else in the room,
that's kind of the first.
It doesn't make any difference how old you are. That's the time to get it checked.
Why 35? Why? That's just when the body starts.
That's just when the body starts to go to, you know.
Great.
The warranty starts to expire.
Yes.
The mileage is getting up there.
But yeah, so most people obviously don't have a significant hearing loss, treatable hearing loss, until they're much older than that. But it's just like you see little kids with glasses, you see little kids with hearing aids. Hearing loss can occur at any age, just at any time.
All right, Dwayne, here's a scenario. Say somebody finally says, you know what, he made a point, you talked me into it, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get checked, but I go in and get checked for a hearing aid, next thing you know, I'm going to need to get a hearing aid, but it's going to take, a month to get a hearing aid or 2 weeks to get a hearing aid. How long a turnaround, if you need a hearing aid, can you outfit someone with a hearing aid?
About 45 minutes.
45. So there's no waiting on this.
There's no waiting. If you come in, if you need hearing aids, 1, 2, whatever, usually it's 2, you'll walk out of there with them.
That's surprising. I thought you had to build them for each individual person.
No, it's all individually programmed on the computer, but everything else is kind of like a erector kit.
How about that?
Put it together.
And you build them to your specs too.
We
That's
build
why your
them.
hearing aids are different than anybody
That's right.
else's.
They're built to our specs, and all electronics is, of course, is the main thing. The rest of it's just simply mechanical, getting the right length of tubes and the right size of domes and all that stuff, and that's all. We just do that right there, and then the computer programs everything based on your test. That's entered into the computer, and then it'll program the hearing aid based on your loss.
So that really is a little computer.
It actually, and I'm not trying to exaggerate this, but I think the last thing I heard, the latest one that we have is, if you go back and think about the first big instance of computers was the landing on the moon and many years ago. A single hearing aid that we have is something like, I don't know, 150 times more powerful than all the computers that were involved in that space landing. I mean, it's a phenomenal situation.
That's just how far we've come.
That's how far we've come.
So let's say you're like, okay, you've talked me into it. I've gotten to that age where maybe I should just, get a test done just to make sure everything is okay. You know? How much does it cost to go in and get a test done?
Free.
So there's no excuse.
No excuse whatsoever. Okay.
And how long does it take?
If you don't have a loss, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. You'd be in and out.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Simple.
We do have, in honor of Better Hearing Month, you can call our 800 number, 800-792-9564, 800-792-9564. And if you should need a hearing aid, we are going to offer for the Better Hearing Month our Class Series hearing aids and our Premier Series hearing aids on a special of buy one and get the second one at half price. So
there you
for
go.
a whole month in both of those series of hearing aids, and that will cover probably about 90% of all losses or 95% of all losses.
Yeah,
so.
Another incentive to make this month the month you go in and just get
month
it
for
checked
better
out.
hearing,
Yeah.
and you not only that, you'll be able to hear the rest better the rest of the year too, so, and the year after that.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
great to
I
see
can
you.
take advantage of it at 800-792-9564, 800-792-9564.
And iWearHearing.com.
Our easiest website to remember.
That's right.
Perfect.
And lots of locations.
That's guys. Yeah, oh yeah, all over the state. So we are.
Anyone